Hey guys! Hello everybody, my name is Zoe Rebekah. Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be an important one with a lot of valuable life lessons that I learned over the 18 years of my life. I know I'm not 18 yet, I'm about to be 18, I'm turning 18 in a month, but bottom line, even though I'm not 18 yet, I still wanted to go over 18 really big things that I learned over the 18 years of my life. So without further ado, let's get started. So I actually have my notes written on my phone. So I have my list here of 18 things that I learned. My boyfriend helped me out with this. We were on FaceTime and he was like sharing quotes that he liked, and so I was using some quotes to inspire me. So yeah, so if I can find the quotes then I can include them in here too. So let's just get started. So the first one I have on here is, you can never please everyone and you shouldn't let people's own bullshit discourage and affect you. You can't control other people, you only have control over yourself. So that is huge, a couple huge things right there that I learned throughout my 18 years. So I've always been a very controlling person. I've always wanted to maintain control, and I've used unhealthy ways to do that, and I've realized that when I try to control other people, it never works, and then you just lose a friendship, and it's heartbreak, and it's unfortunate, but it's reality. You can't control other people and you only have control over yourself, and everyone's dealing with their own shit, and that's not an excuse really for anyone's misbehavior or anyone's disrespect. Like, I'm not justifying any of that, but everyone has their own bullshit to deal with, and you shouldn't let their insecurities and their shit affect you or impact you or let it bring you down. So just focus on yourself and control yourself and stop worrying about other people so much. Okay, this next one's really big and really important, and it's about relationships. So this one says, relationships have their ups and downs, but in the end, if you really have a connection, care about and love each other, you'll always be able to talk things through and make it work. However, if the other person or even your relationship in general is constantly toxic, there's dishonesty, manipulation, and a lack of support, your relationship isn't going to work. I've had many people come and go throughout my life, but I have good people with me now, and I don't regret dropping the people that I did. So yes, people will come and go throughout your life. People will outgrow you, you will outgrow people, and things happen, situations happen, and it drives relationships apart for a reason. Sometimes things happen and situations end, and relationships end. Sometimes things happen and relationships end for no reason, no valid reason, and you just lose a friendship and it's heartbreaking. But sometimes you really have to let people go because they're toxic or manipulative, or you can't trust each other, or you're lying to each other, or whatever it may be. If you're in a relationship like that, you just can't stay in that relationship, whether it's romantic or a friendship. You just need to escape that and really take care of yourself and focus on yourself after being so traumatized by that. But relationships will have their ups and downs, and if you do have a connection with the person and you love them or like them and care about them, then you will make it work, and you'll be able to talk shit through, and you'll be able to communicate and resolve the conflict. So there's a difference between the people that are worth making an effort to strengthen your relationship, and then there's the people that are not worth it and then you should just drop. You have to figure out how to differentiate between the two, but I think it's pretty obvious. Even though some people can be very good at manipulating people, I can be very good at being controlling to other people and make them stay in a relationship when they don't want to, but it's your choice to escape that or not. It's your choice to really reflect on your relationships and to really think things through. So this next one says, the best things happen when you least expect them. You have to let them happen organically and naturally. You can't force things. Things flow like a river. So I've always been a very uptight person, and I struggle with going with the flow. So I really want to work on that, and I've realized that going with the flow really makes you a lot happier and really makes you more successful and more productive, and you can communicate with people better and you can agree with people a lot more if you just go with the flow and stop being so uptight. And things just happen. Like, you can't force things, like relationships. Like, I was not looking for a boyfriend when I found one. When I was looking for a boyfriend, I could not find a good guy. I was fucking around with assholes and none of them wanted a relationship with me. They just wanted to fuck around, you know what I mean? And when I wasn't looking for a relationship, I actually found a really good guy and got into a relationship with him. So things just happen organically, things happen naturally, you can't force things, and things will work out, trust me. This next one says be cautious without being paranoid. A key theme I have going on in these is balance. Balance is really important, which I'll get more into later. So you gotta be cautious without being paranoid, especially when it comes to who you trust and who you call a friend. You have to be aware, you have to be self-aware and aware of others, and you have to really look for red flags at first when you first get into a relationship with a friend or with a significant other or with anyone. You have to be cautious so that you don't get hurt, but being paranoid and being like overthinking and stressing yourself out is just not gonna work either, you know what I mean? So you gotta find the balance between being cautious and being paranoid. So being cautious is the way to go. That has a more positive connotation to it, you know what I mean? So definitely don't rush into things. Really take time to reflect on your relationships and yourself or whatever your situation is, and really think about what you're doing, but don't overthink, you know what I mean? Find the balance. This next one kind of ties into that. So it says think things through and don't act on impulse. Making impulsive choices leads to bad things, and sometimes you can wind up in situations that make you uncomfortable or feel unsafe. And I have been in those situations. I've been surrounded by things that I didn't want to, that made me uncomfortable, that made me feel unsafe, that made me want to not be there. So I really want to try to think things through more, and I've learned that it's a really important thing to do, is to really think and to make pros and cons lists. That helps you make decisions, but making smarter decisions is just the way to go, and to really not make impulsive choices, because like I said, making impulsive choices just almost always leads to bad things. So you just really want to reflect and think. This one says respect is a two-way street. If you want respect, it must be earned, and if someone wants your respect, they must earn it. That goes for trust as well. So I was talking about respect, and then Adam was like, that goes for trust too, and I was like, that's totally right, like I should add that. And it's really important to respect each other. You can't respect someone else if they don't respect you. You can't really trust someone else if they don't trust you. I mean, if it is that way, then it's a one-sided relationship, and that's not healthy, and that's not how relationships work. But when you really reflect and make a smart choice, you'll feel a lot better about yourself. You won't be wind up in a situation that makes you uncomfortable or unsafe, and you'll be a lot happier, healthier, and you'll enjoy yourself a lot more. And not to mention that you'll probably make your parents happy by maturing. So this one's to surround yourself with wise, mature, positive people and maintain a positive environment. If you don't, you won't be happy and your mental health will suffer. I know that firsthand, that I've been friends with really toxic people, and I've surrounded myself with really negative energy, and it's really brought me down, and it's really brought my mental health down. So when I have good friends that make me feel good and that validate me and bring me up and treat me well, it's just such a great feeling, and you feel like there's something good in the world when you feel hopeless. And when you are surrounded by positivity, you will obviously automatically feel more positive, and you'll be in a more positive mindset. You'll make more positive choices. You'll treat yourself better, and all of those things are extremely important. This one's kind of random, but I thought it was kind of important to mention. But it says manage your money. Being broke sucks. Think about what is really necessary for you to buy. So I have been horrible at managing my money since I've had a job. Since the beginning of when I started working when I was 16. I've always been horrible with managing my money. I spend it way too quickly. I discover I have a bunch of money. I spend it all really quickly, and it sucks to be broke. So it's really important to think about your necessities and what you really need, and to really manage your money and your time. But managing time, money, energy, all of those things are very important. Set realistic expectations. Nothing in life is perfect. Perfect is not something to strive for. Yes, your standards should be set high enough to feel good about your accomplishments, but don't beat yourself up over insignificant or imperfect things. So that's pretty self-explanatory, I would think. So I've always been a perfectionist. It's always been a problem for me to strive for perfection, but perfection isn't real. It's not real, it's unrealistic, and you're never gonna achieve that. So you strive to be good enough, not perfect. You don't want to set your standards low because then you won't try and you'll have no motivation and you won't be going anywhere in life. So you want to set your standards high enough so that you are successful, but you can't set your standards too high that you're unsuccessful. You know what I mean? Because when you set them too low, you're unsuccessful. When you set them too high, you're also unsuccessful. So you gotta find that middle ground and stop being so extreme. Utilize healthy coping skills when you need to manage stress or sadness or whatever your feelings are that you need to manage. Use healthy coping skills. Distract yourself, breathe deeply, and write positive affirmations. Never resort to unhealthy coping skills like self-harm. Self-harm can be in many different forms. It can be cutting, it can be suicide attempts, it could be purging, restricting, binging. It could be any of those things. Anything that you're using to harm yourself in any way is an unhealthy coping skill and is considered self-harm and shouldn't be done. You know what I mean? It's not healthy, it's not safe. You won't feel any better, trust me. You might feel a temporary relief, but in the long run, you feel like shit afterwards. Am I right or am I right? You know what I mean? I have experience with this stuff. I know how shitty it feels. So utilize your positive coping skills. Call someone, talk to someone, write your feelings out, or write anything you want to. Do your schoolwork, do your makeup, take a shower, do something else. This one says balance your mind with emotions and logic. Use your wise mind, which is that balance. And it's important to recognize your feelings and validate them, but it's also important to rationalize the situation for a mature and successful approach. So I've learned that when you let your emotions take over, nothing gets done and no problems get solved. But when you are using complete logic and complete rational thinking, you're not letting your heart or your feelings affect anything, and that's not good either. You have to use your brain and your heart to make decisions, and to resolve problems you have to have that wise mind, which is the balance between rational and emotional. So yeah, so the next one is people's expectations of you shouldn't impact your self-worth or confidence. You really shouldn't give a flying fuck what people think about you, and as cliche as it sounds, always stay true to yourself. Yes, does sound cliche, but it's important to be yourself and to stay true to yourself and to not conform to society's standards, you know what I mean? And to just embrace who you are and your uniqueness and your creativity. This one says, don't stoop to the level of idiots. People are ignorant and you can't let that dictate your life or you in general. There's no point in trying to change or argue with ignorant people because that will be wasting your time, as they are stubborn and won't change. So there are a lot of stupid fucking people in this world, and there are a lot of really ignorant people who are stubborn and will not change their opinion or their ways at all, and you have to accept that, unfortunately. If it's someone you really care about and you really want to have a relationship with, and you are really struggling to maintain that relationship because of your differing opinions, you might want to talk about that. But with dumb, ignorant people, there's just no point of trying to argue with them because that's wasting your time, it's wasting your energy, and there's no point. You shouldn't waste your time on them. Overthinking causes unhappiness. When you overthink and overanalyze things, you just become stressed and unproductive. It doesn't help the situation whatsoever. All you're doing is bringing on stress. Talking things through with the other party or parties will resolve any conflict, not bottling it up and thinking about it. So when you bottle up your feelings and you're just overthinking about it, you just feel like you're gonna explode. And that is a very, very uncomfortable feeling. So you really want to avoid that. And you really want to try to resolve any conflicts you have with people as soon as you can, and you don't want to bottle things up ever, whether it's your own personal feelings or your feelings about someone else. But overthinking really is always been a big problem for me. I know most of my friends, my boyfriend, we all overthink, and it's always been a problem and it needs to be fixed, and overthinking is just not helpful. This one says stick with people through thick and thin, and if people don't reciprocate that, they don't deserve you. Just because someone is going through a hard time doesn't mean they don't deserve your love and affection. In fact, they need it more than ever. If your partner or friend isn't with you through your lows, they don't deserve to be with you through your highs. So Adam actually helped me come up with this one. I was thinking about it and he helped me put it into words, you know what I mean? So Adam and I both have our highs and our lows. My friends and I all have our highs and our lows personally. And you always want to be there to support your friend or your partner or your family member or someone, whoever it is that you care about. You always want to be there to support them, and if they're not there there to support you, then they don't deserve you. That's a really important thing that I learned. This one's important. Quality over quantity. This goes for everything from friends to objects. One true real friend is so much better than a bunch of fake friends. I'd much rather have a few quality friends than a bunch of shitty snakes. I've dealt with snakes. I've dealt with many shitty girls and many shitty people, and I'm glad that I dropped them when I did. Don't regret any of that. So even when it comes to food or objects, people, everything, quality over quantity is the way to go. Don't worry about how much you have. Worry about the quality of your life and the quality of the object or person. And money doesn't dictate your happiness, at least it shouldn't. So yeah, this one, like I was saying, this is a big theme throughout this list, is that balance is key. Everything is meant to be taken in moderation. You can't be an extreme thinker. You need to think of the pros and cons and make the smartest decision. So I think I've already pretty much covered that, so I'm not really going to go too much in depth with that, but definitely make sure that you're balancing everything. Everything. Physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. Everything needs to be balanced. And this last one, the last 18th thing that I learned through my 18 years is that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. As bad as things may seem, things always get better. I'm not really gonna expand on that too much, but Adam also helped me come up with this one. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. As bad as things may seem, they will not be forever. It's only temporary. Your bad feelings or bad situations are temporary, and things change, things evolve, and you evolve, and you will grow out of it, and you will be happier. So those are the 18 things that I learned throughout my 18 years of life. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you guys. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and share this video on my channel so those you think might be interested, and leave me comments on my community posts. We are almost 18. We're gonna have real comments. So yeah, follow me on my social media. Instagram is zoe.frenchman, Snapchat is zoefrenchman, and TikTok is zoerfrenchman. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Love you. Bye.